For millennia, humans have looked up at the night sky and wondered, what lies beyond Earth? These humans have longed to explore, and they wanted to see what the rest of the universe contains.
Now, we are on the verge of doing just that, because NASA is planning on sending humans to Mars to explore and eventually colonize it.
A mission to Mars is now being considered by the American government, and it is vital not only to the United States, but to mankind that this opportunity is taken.
Welcome back to another episode of Space Talk. Today we'll be discussing a topic in space that is currently a source of much debate. This topic is whether the red planet Mars should be colonized. Through this short show, you will soon learn the reason to why the colonization of Mars is so crucial through a few of NASA's scientists. Now we take you to listen to three experts on the colonization of Mars.
Hello, I'm Matt Crane, scientist from NASA, and I'm here with my team to explain to you why it is so important that Mars is colonized. Not only would it solve problems humanity will face in the future, but it would also
provide rich natural resources that can be used on Earth. And finally, colonizing Mars will help advance technology and develop many major breakthroughs in science.
Thank you, gentlemen. We now have a quick commercial break. Coming up next, we have an exclusive experiment with these scientists. Stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Robert Zubrin, and I am the CEO of the Mars Society. The Mars Society is the world's largest and most influential space advocacy organization dedicated to the human exploration and settlement of the planet Mars. We work to educate the public, the media, and the government of the benefits of exploring Mars and creating a permanent human presence on the red planet. Please help us by donating today and becoming a member of the Mars Society. Thank you.
Welcome back. And now we're meeting up with a few botanists that work with NASA to discuss an experiment that proves that space fertilization is truly possible.
For our experiment, we're going to be testing different elements that can be used as additives in soil that are found on Mars to see which fertilizer will be best in helping plants grow on the red planet with a limited amount of water.
Since the experiment would take too long, we're going to model it for you. We will gather three different elements that we can add to soil: sulfur, magnesium, and potassium. We will put the fertilizers into the same type of soil and see which ones help plants grow the most.
We will plant the fertilizers, each 1 cup full, and add 4 ounces of water a day to each plant every day for a week. The experiment shows that it's possible to grow plants on Mars from the elements already there. We will be using fertilizers based off phosphorus and nitrogen because these two elements are both essential in helping plants grow. We will use sulfur phosphate, which is P4S10, as well as phosphates from potassium, which is K3O4P, and magnesium, which is Mg3PO4 times 2. This experiment is important because it will help astronauts know what element, which is readily available on Mars, is best in helping them farm. Our hypothesis for this experiment is if the fertilizer is sulfur, then it will help the potato plant grow the fastest and the best because it has a lot of nitrates in it. And if this is true, then it could really help astronauts out on the red planet because they could use sulfur, which is readily available, as an additive in soil to help grow plants.
Wow, that truly is amazing. You can actually use elements found commonly on Mars to make fertilizer for food. Now we have another quick commercial break. Hi, we are the Planetary Society, founded by Louis Friedman, Carl Sagan, and Bruce C. Murray in 1980. Our mission is to collect money that can be put towards NASA's space exploration. The Planetary Society also gives individuals a role in the exploration of space, provides information about the space to the public, and raises money to help lobby for laws that support space exploration. Please support us so we can continue to further our knowledge of the solar system. You can find out how to donate to us at planetary.org. Thank you. Welcome back. Now we have a couple scenarios that could happen if we possibly colonize Mars.
It is the year 2100. The world is faced with extreme overpopulation. having 11.2 billion people. As a result of this, there is little to no room for farming and agriculture, and there are more people to feed. In the early 2000s, there were about 7 billion people in the world. Now, with 11.2 billion, Earth has grossly exceeded the population maximum at 10 billion. At the time, people were realizing that overpopulation was becoming an issue, but they did nothing to change it. NASA was trying to get the funds and approval to start a mission to Mars, but the government did not give it to them. Now, in these unsanitary and dangerous circumstances, people are beginning to die because of disease and hunger. The need to colonize Mars is dire.
We have over 1 million people on the red planet, and there are more on the way. NASA has been given the funds to do many missions to Mars, and we've been farming with fertilizer and have plenty of food for survival. Earth is spacious again, and the cure for overpopulation is being solved.
As you can see, overpopulation could be a huge threat in the near future, and colonizing Mars could be the solution to just that. Another reason why we should colonize Mars is because of the rich elements and natural resources that can be found on it.
Look over here. It's the metal aluminum.
And here is the rare metal titanium. Do you know that Mars has twice the abundance of metals that Earth does?
When we bring these metals back to Earth, they could really help us out.
I agree.
As you can see, Mars is home to an abundance of rare metals and natural resources. Because of this, we should definitely colonize it. Speaking of colonizing Mars, our third and final reason will be delivered by me and my experts ourselves.
Another reason why we need to colonize Mars is that it would spur many technological breakthroughs.
For example, when NASA was preparing to send astronauts into orbit and to the moon in the 1960s, they had to develop a lot of new technology which we still use today.
If NASA chooses to undertake a mission to Mars, many advances would inevitably be made, and that would help our country tremendously.
These advances show that going to Mars would not only help America remain on the cutting edge of science, but they would also trickle down into the lives of everyday Americans.
Now, this is very important, and is just another reason why it is necessary to colonize Mars.
Hello, and now we're back with one of NASA's top scientists to do a quick recap on tonight's show.
We've gone over a few very good reasons tonight on why America should go to Mars. The first is Mars has abundant natural resources.
And what are some of those natural resources?
Aluminum and titanium. Another reason is a mission to Mars would spur many technological advances that would make the lives of everyday Americans so much easier. And the third and probably the most important reason is that overpopulation is becoming a big issue. There are about 7.5 billion people on Earth, and that number will only grow.
And so do you think, or how would moving to Mars benefit overpopulation?
It would make it so the human race can spread out, and there would be more room for agriculture and for people to live.
Well, I think that says it all. That will be all for tonight. Thank you. Make sure you stay tuned for next week's episode about global warming. Thank you, and have a good night.
That's too much sauce. That's too much sauce. Protect, delete the plain one. That's too